In the past few months, I had a really bad creative block. I didn't like my art. I don't know what to create, and I don't have a clear direction of where my art is supposed to go. So I tried a lot of sorts of different things. You can probably see from my YouTube video, but nothing worked until this recent challenge that I tried, which is drawing a banana every day. Well, not a banana, but a banana drawing every day. And it really helped. So I want to share with you what I did and what I learned. And if you're also feeling stuck, also have trouble creating, hopefully this helped you as well. Okay, I call it a creative block, but I was actually always like this. It was always a struggle for me to come up with a good idea for a painting. Sometimes it's so bad, I even doubt that if I should be an artist at all. In the past, I've been drawing anime girls, but if you watch more of my videos, you hear me talking about I wanted to create a whole scene, a whole world, put my character in there, and have more storytelling. I did a few paintings like that, but they didn't feel right. They don't make me feel fulfilled. It's frustrating because after all these years of practice of watercolor, I can paint well, and the work looks pretty. So why don't I feel happy about it? So I thought it's because maybe I just didn't like drawing anime characters. Maybe it's just a style that is too generic and it's not me. So for this half a year, I tried different challenges. Finished some sketchbook and trying to doodle in there, and I tried to go back to square one and forget about all the anatomy and stuff and just try to draw whatever that comes to mind and find what I actually want to draw, what my style is actually like. It helps until I realized that I still wasn't able to create something complete or a finished product, quote unquote, like the watercolor paintings I put on sale in my store. Then I thought, oh crap, I just don't have enough ideas. Maybe because my life is just too boring, or I'm just complacent and I don't pay attention to things like the news in the world, the important trending events. Maybe I just need to go study and look at encyclopedias, read more books, watch more movies, travel more. I was so stressed thinking about these ideas, it's just too overwhelming. Then I found the answers in my sketchbooks. Sketchbook is actually quite a new thing to me. I mean, it's not like I never used them. I used them in the past, but they were for practicing anatomy, learning perspectives, or doodling and design a composition for a painting that I wanted to do. So it's not very creative. It's more like a learning ground. But recently I started to use it more in a way to put down my ideas unfiltered, just doodle and not worry about trying to make it a finished piece. I think it's really helpful. I was able to come up with some fun drawing little things in the sketchbook, and some of them, if I look back now, they can be turned into a complete painting. So I spent a whole evening flipping it through. I'm thinking it could give me some clue. Then I realized it is not the lack of ideas. I have a lot of ideas on there. It is the perfectionism holding me back. The sketchbook is not expensive, it has so many pages, it's low stake. I can use whatever pen, and if I screw up, it's okay, nobody will see it. But if I have a piece of paper, and especially I'm recording this for a video, oh wow, that's a whole different level of standard. Before I can put down anything on the paper, I ask myself, is this design good enough? Should this girl have a curvy body or a slimmer one? How big should the head be? Maybe it should be a cute version? And would this character appear again in my future drawings? In this case, maybe I need to spend more time to design the character better. Or wait, actually, should this be a human at all? Maybe it should be a bunny. What story am I trying to tell here? Does it sound too shallow and not sophisticated enough? Maybe I need to spend more time in the storytelling. What pen should I use? Should I use waterproof ones or pencil? Or use a fine brush to put down the lines? Should I do the line art before or after the color? Or should I do a line art at all? Should I use watercolor or acrylic marker or alcohol marker or maybe gouache? If you're an artist yourself or make any creative project, do you ask all these questions? Or am I the weird ones thinking way too much? Because you can probably imagine, after I ask myself all these questions, any good ideas I have would be killed. So this is a process I go through each time when I try to create a painting. It makes it impossible to draw a picture every night. so I need to make it as simple as possible. I picked one simple object, a banana, because it's what we have on our table all the time, so that cut down the time I need to spend on thinking what to draw. I'm just gonna draw a banana, start with a banana every night. And I picked really simple art supplies, a black fountain pen, one set of alcohol markers, and one marker pad. I purposely picked this marker pad because the corner is a bit creased when I received it in the mail. In my mind, this makes the stake a little bit lower. It's more like a sketchbook. And for the markers, although I barely used them before, I know it's the quickest way to put down some colors, so I chose to use them instead of the watercolor I'm familiar with. I just want to be able to challenge myself to put down some colors, good or bad. And the fountain pen only has black ink in there. I'm not gonna switch the color, so there's nothing for me to debate, just black lines for the line art. So every night after working and after cooking and eating, I sit down and start my drawing. I have about an hour and a half to 2 hours to complete the line art, and the coloring was done on the weekend after all the drawings are done. And to my surprise, this worked pretty well, at least for day one. Under this short amount of time and all these constraints, the drawing came out pretty naturally. I wasn't too worried about how well I drew and how accurate the anatomy is. I was just having fun constructing the world, putting down my thoughts on the paper. And the idea is pretty unfiltered, and I think it's a reflection of my subconscious mind. I'm drawing what I like. So I'm thinking myself as a girl hanging on the rack, looking lonely and isolated. But there are many other girls, and a group of them. Some of them trying to help me, and some of them are trying to interacting with each other or doing silly things. So if I were to do some self-analysis, I work 8 hours a day, and I really want to be creating in my free time and be good at it. So I really treasure my own time. I usually say no to social events, and naturally, after so many years, it became my norm. No complaints, I enjoy my new routine. It allowed me to get better at art and create more. But I do really miss the time spending with friends, especially in high school and university. And maybe that's the reason I really enjoy watching slice of life animes for high schools and above. It's really relatable and enjoyable to see the girls doing stuff together, doing silly things, eating together, staying overnight. It is hard for me to justify or be able to do in my age and current situation, but I imagine that'll be an awesome lifestyle for people who are regularly doing that. It'll be nice to connect with good friends, skip the small talk and have deep discussion, or just do silly things together. Maybe that's something I can do on this channel, and you guys are my good friends, except that you can only listen to me and not talk back. So the first night went well, but you can probably guess not everything is smooth sailing. My monkey mind is still very active. I just can't turn it off. When I get to the background, it's asking me technical questions like, how do I color the trees? What color should I use? What kind of green? What shade of green? Do they go well together? What kind of strokes should I use? Should I make them smooth? Or, purposely make them look like some artistic marks? And wait, am I using too much green? Will it run out? What do I do if that happens? I don't have a refill. Will other green match the color? Or should I use a different color, maybe purple? This is crazy. Usually this is when I sit down and let these thoughts run wild in my mind. And I probably just go, pick up some books, trying to find some clue in there, look at some reference photos, browse on my phone to find some technique videos to answer some of these questions. And in the end, I wasted a lot of time, and I put more pressure for me to make something perfect and worthy of the paper, quote unquote. I always thought an artist should have a vision of the painting and just need to, have the clear picture of the final product in your head and move it from your head to the paper, and should be able to answer all these questions before they even start. So if I can't, I'm not a good artist, right? But maybe that's not how it works, or it is the result of so many years of practice and small iterations of improvements. It's a process. So how do I get there? I guess the most important thing is for me to start the process, by starting the process, I just need to remove all the obstacles and be able to put down the idea I have in my mind, good or bad, use whatever technique I'm okay with at this moment, and slowly improvising and improving and build on top of that. It is not project planning at work, and things don't have to go in order, and things don't have to be exactly the same as I planned. New idea and new learnings might come out along the way, and I might discover new ways to do things and to make the final product better. But I need to be able to do that first. That's the first thing I need to do. So I have to keep reminding myself, I just want to show what's in my mind, what I think look good. There is no right answer or target to meet. I don't need to have all the answers at the beginning, and things can keep changing, and most likely it may fail in the end, or it might give me a good surprise. It's the process that's the most important. The process making bad art will bring me closer to where I eventually want to be. Oh, I should talk about the idea for this drawing because it's quite interesting. This idea came from a travel show we recently watched. You know, Japan is our favorite travel destination, and you probably saw a lot of videos or drawings are inspired by Japan. We've been going there every year for a few years, and we always watch YouTube videos to find new places and mark down them in advance on the map, and we have a collection of those. So in this video, they went to Awaji Island. It's a small island between the Osaka area and Shikoku area. There's apparently a theme park with a life-sized Godzilla. And what's cool about it is they made a zip line going right into its mouth. I wonder if it would feel like I'm being eaten when I get closer, because it looked pretty dark in there, and when you get closer, it's probably gonna be really overwhelming. And maybe I'm just getting tricked into there and getting eaten by a real Godzilla, and I will just disappear and never come out. So for my version, I did something similar. I put a cute real monkeys that are alive, about to have a picnic. And the girls here on the platform are being directed into the banana seats to play the zip line, so they look like bananas and they just fly into the mouth of the monkey, and they don't know they're becoming the food. I guess the idea is also influenced by the animes I love watching, like Promised Neverland, Made in Abyss. There's another one that I can't remember the name. I think it's a bunch of kids growing in an isolated facility with lots of tomatoes. If you know the name, let me know. I don't think they ended yet. It's probably just season 1. Anyway, I don't like pure horror because it's too scary and sometimes too gross, but I really enjoy these slightly dark and emotionally intense. The storytelling is usually suspenseful, but the whole world is like cute and pretty and looking normal. And for the technical questions I asked myself at the beginning, you can tell that I didn't bother figuring out how to draw the tree or color the trees because I wouldn't have the time. I just put down something simple, childlike tree drawings, and when I color, I just tried what I think would work. And, well, it's not that great. It could be better. The anatomy is also a bit weird, so whatever. At least I created something within the timeline. I met my goal of having 1 drawing per day. And most importantly, I'm so happy that I have the idea in my mind shown on paper for you to see so that I can share the interesting story I have. Another problem I had in the past is how I use reference photos, or process of using reference photo. When I don't have an idea, I listen to the popular advice and go browse for reference photos. And I hope to get inspired or something that can intrigue me that I can draw from. But usually there are just way too many photos that are too easy to get. I kept saving them, organizing them, comparing them, and making a board, pick and choose and try to combine some of them. And this could take a long time because during the process, my perfectionism would kick in, ask all those questions, and reject many of the ideas. But this time, because I have a time limit, I decided not to do this anymore. I allow myself to look at reference photo, but instead of looking at those professional taken photos, I just typed banana in Google search bar and I clicked on image. I scrolled down a bit, saw many pictures have bananas from green to brown. They look like infographics, so I clicked on one of them and they talk about how brown banana is actually more nutritional. It intrigued me to read because I love bananas. So it says when the banana turn brown, they release a substance called TNF. It could improve immune system and potentially fight cancer. Don't quote me, this is not a science video, but I'm always interested in nutrition and using food to maximize my health and get the body composition I want. So this is an interesting piece of information that I want to know. If I can make it in a drawing, maybe if you're not sure whether to eat banana green or brown after seeing my drawing, you'll remember. So I'm just drawing different fighters coming out from the banana's brown spots, fighting the bad cells, the brown snot looking stuff. It's such a playful scene and I had so much fun drawing it. It's like I have a theme to tie all my doodles together. So far, for all these drawings, I've been putting in multiple characters and making it a very lively scene, but sometimes you might just want to do one single character. In the past, my problem was trying to get the body and face and clothes perfect. So I usually sketch many different poses on paper and move it into digital and try to tweak them there. And I pose in front of the mirror and try to take my own reference photo, and I look up fashion photos to design the clothes. It's a very lengthy process, and I usually only have energy to polish the body, but that's not what I want. I want to have the whole scene to tell a story. As I keep tweaking the character, it's moving farther and farther away from my initial inspiration of why I want to draw something. I spent all these time just to get it figured out. No wonder I don't feel fulfilled and happy about the painting. Also, I guess the other important reason is because I use watercolor. I was very stubborn about sticking to my loose style, but sometimes the fine detail is just very necessary, but it's hard to be described using my loose watercolor style. And sometimes I just need to draw that small solid shape to tell viewer what they are to complete the story. Anyway, I digress. All I was trying to say is that I had all these standards I was trying to meet. They're really stopping me from getting my ideas out. So this time I was like, screw the anatomy and clothes, I'm just gonna put down my idea on paper. I want to show the cheerfulness, the energy, and show the brilliant colors. And those are the feelings I want to convey. I always like balloons and party decorations, and I used to love going to parties with friends. So I want to bring up the emotion of going to the parties, playing with friends, do silly things with balloons and maybe burst them, make a mess, and go nuts. So the whole drawing is so unfiltered, showing what I love and what I reminisce. I guess subconsciously, I'm just too calm now. Most of the time, I'm just quietly drawing, working, or going on about my day. And I think I need some craziness in my life and taking some risks, maybe do something out of the ordinary and laugh really hard. By getting my thoughts and feelings on paper, although the drawing itself is not perfect, I feel really good and satisfied. Okay, so I've been analyzing all my drawings, but I'm not too sure how I would interpret my fifth one. After these 4 days, I got pretty comfortable of just picking up something and draw them. I doodle some wacky poses of banana, and some of them are stripping. I don't know why. I don't want to strip. This is not a subconscious thing. It's just purely random. But I think it would be fun to have some banana in onsen. The onsen is always a quiet and serene place, but in anime, the typical onsen episodes, sometimes you get a group of girls or guys in onsen being really rowdy and doing fun and wacky stuff. I was actually very jealous of that because I wish I can go with friends. Usually I only go with my husband, and men and women have separate baths, and I had to be there by myself. It would be so much more fun going with friends and take up the whole space. I remember on this night I had to work late, so I didn't have much time left for this drawing. But I don't want to miss a day, and I want to finish this challenge and make it a habit to stay. Oh wow, it rhymed. Because of my training in the first 4 days, I was able to use all the tips I learned to get this out under an hour. This speed is unheard of for me. I was never be able to do that so quickly, so it's a new record. I'm definitely really happy about this. And I should mention I did the line art on weekday evenings. Each should take about, this one takes the fastest under an hour, but usually it takes about an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. And I did all the coloring for all 5 on weekends in a few hours. I didn't record the time, so I'm guessing each drawing takes about 3 to 4 hours, including color. So here are all the drawings. I got 5 of them this week. It was so amazing. I'm really happy about the speed. In the past, it would take me 2 weeks to design and paint in watercolor. So although they're not perfect and many places to improve, I'm really happy. And I definitely would keep doing this in the future. Who knows where this might lead me? And maybe I can finally find my own style and voice and feel fulfilled. Alright, I hope this helps or inspires you as well. And if you feel stuck, try it out and let me know how it goes. And you might be surprised. Alright, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!